Good afternoon. It's Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady. I'm coming with my weekly ramblings. I think the last few weeks I've been all over the place, and I don't think it's been any different today. If you follow me on my Facebook page, I have literally, like hot off the press, is what I'm going to say. This weekend I was very guided to ask some really important questions that have been sort of sitting on my heart, but also in preparation to step into this new role of helping lost souls, lost spirits, all of that sort of. As I say, it's a slightly different direction that I'm going in. I've just signed up for SRT2, which is Lara Starr's spirit release therapy. And I really what my questions were about, who else do I have around me? I mean, the dragons keep saying it's us. We're guardian dragons. We're the elder wisdom. This is sort of all that you need. And then I'm like, but do I have anything else? And then, so yesterday I went down a path and then I went over another way and then I don't know. And I'm still going because some of the stuff I found out was just literally, and I posted something about Merlin. And as you know, Merlin has been with me, not just in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes. And to find out that, and this is what he's told me, it's another aspect of Merlin, but I was just thinking this morning, it's almost like being sat down as an adult and being told you were really adopted. It's like I had this one knowing, one vision, one everything I knew, and then suddenly there's this other aspect which shouldn't surprise me because I'm learning about higher aspects of myself, but I will read some of that in a moment, but just on a lighter subject, and as I often say with my I've, like a lot of us do as I'm getting older, I have these wonderful ideas and then I buy something and then I put it in a safe place. So you're all laughing now because I don't think it's about our advancing age, but this has been happening to me much more frequently. I was always somebody, I knew where I put things, I knew what order they were in, and now I get very frustrated. So I had bought some early little bits and pieces with an idea in mind of who I might give to as little Christmas gifts, people I know and that sort of stuff. And I'd actually bought a lot of British chocolate, not for me, but my kids, even though they're adults. Always at Christmas, it's something that brings back the memories of Christmases when we lived in England when they were much younger. They moved here when they were 6 and 4, so it's lots of past memories, but it always reminds, and it's real British chocolate. And I found this fabulous website, so of course I put it in a bag and I put it somewhere safe. But then this morning I was like, oh, I know, I bought some crystals and I bought this, and I'm like, I bought dragon eggs, and I don't know if you've seen them. They're these little dragon eggs that you unscrew and there's a little dragon inside, and I'm like, oh, that's really cute, I'll get some. Well, I went through every closet. I was also changing my bed. So literally today I've been changing my bed. Then I had I think I put it here. I've pulled out closets. I've gone through closets. I've pulled out stuff. I can't find them. I've gone through every drawer. No, couldn't. And in the end I'm like, you know what? Just drop it. They're either going to show up or just buy some more. So I was in the shower and I thought, you know what? I'll just ask the dragons. I tell people this. I'm like, you can ask them anything, right? So again, I say things, I don't always do it. So I was like, can you just remind me, where did I put them? And they were laughing. And they showed me the bag that I put them in. This is no word of a lie. They showed me the bag. They showed me what was around it and where I'd put them. I had to get out of the shower. I went and found the bag, and there they were. And they were laughing, and they're still laughing now. They were like, see, we see you. We see what you're doing, and we knew that you would not remember until you had the memory, put the memory in your head. Oh, I bought chocolates, and I sort of went a bit overboard. But anyway, that doesn't matter. But that's what we do as mums, right? Even though my kids are adults, and I still go, oh, let me buy them some chocolate. My mother-in-law, who is no longer here, she would go over the top with chocolate. She always believed chocolate was good for you. It was part of so in England you have these digestive biscuits, which are just plain wheat biscuits, but she believed that if they had chocolate on them, they were better for you. So she always used to say that, oh, they're much better for you with the chocolate on, which they were, doubtedly. They tasted much better, right? And even if you dunk them in your tea with chocolate on, it was still nice. But anyway, I digress. So the dragons were literally saying to me, you see, you have, whatever comes out of your mouth, you have to remember, right? So, as I said yesterday, I'd actually said, people were asking me, have you got any plans for this weekend? And I said, no, I have no plans, but I do have plans to, I felt I just needed to block off some time, with nothing else. So I didn't plan to do anything else yesterday and see what came in. And I've always, so I know, and this again may be something that would just go over your head or just blow your mind, but I had known, and I've had it confirmed, that my soul is from Mars, which again is laughable because then people are like, oh, you're a Martian. I've been shown the planet as I left it, is what I now know, which was devastated, burnt to a crisp. And I don't know why, but I'd never really looked into the Orion Wars or any of that. I just hadn't gone there. And actually they're saying it's because I didn't want to see those scenes. So yesterday I went down the YouTube rabbit hole. I found several series which I listened to. Some of them I had to stop and go back and listen to again. Some of it was, and then there was another part that took me. I remember that when I do my messages each day, that there was a period of not so long ago, about a month ago, where I kept getting the message from the One, which is the one source. When I asked who is the one source, but there was a reference to it was when I was listening to another podcast of Lara. So I say I was all over the place. There was a Dr. Scott who talked about the book of Ezekiel and the book of John. Now, as I always say, I don't have a religious bone in my body, but I've always been fascinated by the history. I always viewed religion as history. I took it as an exam subject when I was in high school. I love all of that. I've never really sort of delved into those books that didn't make it into the Bible. I have no idea, probably because I wasn't ready. So I dived down that about the One, which is in the book of John, and then seraphims and cherubs. When I asked, who else do I have helping me? They brought up seraphims and cherubs. And I was like, again, over my head. So I went down that, which again took me to the book of Ezekiel, and I believe John as well. If you look up the Jewish religion, which I listened to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about the Jewish religion, and I'm like, oh, well, of course, there would be seraphim. The seraphims reminded me that I took years ago, 20 years ago, something called the Universal Kabbalah, which I don't have much memory of what I really learnt, but I do remember cherubs and seraphims and all the angels and archangels. And I can't find any. I've moved a few times since then, and I think a lot of that stuff got thrown out. But I do know that, and I've always been drawn to that history, especially in the Jewish books. And I was fortunate, and I do know several of you also that know me that are of the Jewish religion. So it's fascinating me that, and these are very, very high frequency. So seraphim and the cherubs are very, very high frequency. When I've asked the dragons, well, who are my specific dragons, or who are my specific ones? And they keep telling me unequivocally, they're saying, I do not need them. I have these collectives of dragons. And they're saying, yes, we are guardians. We're guardian dragons, and we're elder dragons that give you your knowledge. Your elder knowledge is given to me. They always show me they're sitting sort of out here. So they keep telling me, just let that go. The dragons that need to identify themselves, which I told you I have a rainbow obsidian dragon who is my protector, my gatekeeper, called Sealy. He recently reconnected with me. He said he's always been there, but I now know that he's there. So it's just fascinated me how, with my memories of Mars and Sirius and Maldek, which is where my younger son's soul originates from, is Maldek, which exploded. But a lot of the Syrians and a lot of the people from Mars, Martians don't sound right to me, but people from Mars spent time also on Maldek, and when it exploded, and there's many reasons why it exploded, it also devastated Mars. So that's how my son and I, our souls have landed up journeying together since then. So again, that's a whole another thing for me to uncover. But the whole Merlin thing, I'm still sort of like laughing, but also going, I have to get my head around this. So I'm not going to read all of it, but this is just what I've learnt. Is in the context of the Orion Wars, Merlin is described as the Arthurian wizard. Is described not as the Arthurian wizard, but as a Christ-like being from Sirius. So there's another. A powerful figure with fifth density and seventh density abilities who advocate for unconditional love and forgiveness. This being's influence is credited with bringing the truce to the conflicts between the Orion Empire and the Federation, that's the Galactic Federation, leading to a collective conscious ascension. Some sources also interpret Merlin as an archetype with the rebel forces during the Lyran-Orion Wars. A Christ-like figure from Sirius, this being is believed to be the first incarnation of Christ consciousness in the realm and was sent by Yahweh. Unique abilities. Merlin possesses abilities that include incarnating at will, so shape-shifting. I have talked about how Merlin shape-shifts for me, so check. Transcending space and time, yes, he's a space traveler, and creating planets and galaxies with thought. So we know he's a wizard. So he's going to me. Yes, it's another aspect of me. He thinks this is funny. He thinks it's funny that I'm like my head's going to explode. Role in the Orion Wars. According to this law, Merlin's teachings of love and forgiveness helped end the long-standing Orion Wars and initiated an elevation of consciousness for many beings in the galaxy. Archetype in the rebellion. Some interpretations suggest that I was just making sure I was recording after I've gone through all of this. Archetypes in the rebellion. Some interpretations suggest that the archetype of Merlin, who grew up with remarkable talent in the fifth density, was a member of a rebel forces during the Orion Wars. That's just one of those things they throw in. But this is just like Christ-like figure from Sirius. Literally, I'm sure a few of you are going to be going, wow. And if you knew about this, like, wow. It's obviously time for me to remember that. But I like the fact that in the Merlin that I know, shapeshifts, time travels. He talks about he can be here and he can be everywhere. And he also says that he has been many things to many of us, and he still is, because of this ability of transcending and space travel and all that stuff. So that, and I like the fact that he's a Christ-like figure, because again, religion doesn't hold a whole lot for me, but having that, so yeah, I'm excited, because even though I'm originally from Sirius, originally from Mars, which is where my soul originated. And also, this has also been confirmed by other people. So it's not just something I plucked out. That, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. I originated from Mars, but spent many lifetimes on Sirius B. And that I was going to say, and a lot of what I also read was that a lot of Martians have not stepped forward yet, but a lot of Martians have this ability to connect with higher frequencies, much higher frequencies that other people in human form cannot. And that has always been my question to my dragons, was why can I do this? And there's another answer. So a lot of it is about grounding, which I talk about a lot, as you know, but also not just the grounding, but where our soul originates from, which makes sense because I'm not really the technophobe, but I definitely have this ability to connect with very high frequencies very easily. They said it's telepathy. So they can just, they said it's like sending me a text. They don't bug me, but they know that they can very easily. So often what happens to me is I'll get given a word, like somebody has dropped in. I said this the other day, they drop in a word and then I go, why am I, and it keeps repeating and repeating until I figure it out, and then I get the message or the download. I also posted this morning, I listened to this fascinating, and I was led to it. I posted it on my Facebook page. This beautiful podcast that I listened to this morning. It is Speak to Your Guardian Angels, How to Unlock Hidden Set. This woman, who is Irish, I said, this is an amazing podcast that I've listened to this morning, especially as this woman was described as retarded in her early years. She's probably in her 50s, very derogatory. This is in Ireland. She is also severely dyslexic. She can't read anything, so she can't look things up. So she says she doesn't make any of this up. And she speaks very eloquently about her life and experiences with angels. It's worth a listen to. And this is, and I can never remember, it's Dr. Mayhem. Oh, she was on... So anyway, you'll find it. I posted it on my Facebook page. I love those that she's not selling it. She has written a book. I love it when people are so authentic that, like, literally it was no sensation. No, I got this like world-ending message. Just beautiful. I mean, she's clearly an earth angel, is what I said. So check that out. So after all of that, let's see. This week, again, the dragon messages have been on point every day. I love these little cards. Whoever it was, let me find them. I'm a little bit disorganized this morning. It is Lucy Cavendish. Dragon magic cards. Love them. I don't even know. There isn't even a book with it. I can't even tell you when they were first published. They were published by Blue Angel Publishing. So let's just see what the theme for next week is going to be with them. Haven't really talked about the weather recently. Unchain the Dragon. Interesting. I love how the dragons always bring up the right thing on the right day. Got a whole load of smoke going on over here. I've got incense going. It's also my day to cleanse the house, but I need to take my son out first of all. So I wanted to get this done as it's already 1 in the afternoon. Unchain the Dragon. We offer the gift of unchaining your mind from the bondage of sorrow, doubt, and fear. We offer clarity, purpose, and motivation in their place. The voice of the soul now speaks within you. So, beautiful. I'll post that. I forgot to post the cards last week. Something threw me off. Let's also see what whether there's any shadow messages. They're all flying out again. Dual nature. There's a eye in the sky. And what they're telling me, 3 of these. 2, 3. Oh, procrastination comes up a lot. Are we putting things off? Becomes a bad habit, so use time management strategies. So I just said, what did I just say? I'm a bit organised today. It's Sunday, so that doesn't really count. It doesn't in my books. Mysterious shift. Personal growth can happen quickly and in ways you may not initially understand. So I think for me, at the end of the year, I go inwards. I was also told that this is a time for me to go inwards until the winter solstice is here, which is sometime in December, say December 21st. Dual nature, great power comes with great responsibility and accepting the consequences. So that's the I card. So we'll see where that goes in the rest of the cards. So let's see what the dragons have to say. My dragons are telling me they're resting. They say they've got a lot of work to do when I start stepping into this new role. So they're like, we're resting for now. We'll let the others talk. It's nice of them. I did, when I took my shower today, I cleansed my whole body with salt, and I make a paste. I took Laura's class on spiritual, it'll come to me in a minute, but about how to cleanse our house, how to cleanse ourselves. So that was interesting, and I do that once a week. The Golden Atlantean Dragon. 3 dragons as well. The Fire Dragon, no big surprise, comes to burn up all that old stuff from the year, is what they're telling me. Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel's dragon. Oh, it's purification. Oh, that's interesting. So we've got the fire, purification. All right, let's see. This is Kyle Gray's deck that I used last week. All right, let's try I'll do that in a moment. Let's see. Oh, there's an escaped black dragon. They get all over the place. It's like crystals as well. Crystals often sort of disappear and sometimes reappear. So if you ever lose any, I used to lose some of my big crystals. I would put them outside and they would just vanish. So we've got purification again. Interesting. So that's Convertina. Yamanya, golden opportunities, and it's what's on the bottom. Oh, sacred space. Interesting. Nematona. All right, and we'll do the last deck. Which is all falling through here. Angel guides. I can't do all of those, so like this one here, composure. It's interesting. It's interesting, that's how I see my heart chakra. I've got composure. It's interesting. Interesting where they're taking us. Inner child healing. We can all use some of that. And the last one, surrender. I hope that means we're getting some good news about some wars coming to an end. I think it's more personal. So let's see. So the dragons, it was interesting. The golden Atlantean dragon helps you remember the wisdom of the golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge, gifts and talents. Reclaim your mastery. So this is about waking up and remembering. And then the fire dragon comes in to burn up the lower energies around you. He loves to come and do that. And he's reminding me that a lot of dragons that you see with fire, it won't burn you because it's energy. And the Archangel Gabriel's dragon brings us purification. So this is the beautiful white dragons. I was just talking to somebody else a couple of days ago about these white dragons. They always bring this beautiful peace. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. So you can envision a diamond wherever you need to put it. For me, it would be my throat, which, by the way, is a whole lot better. Thank you. These cards, procrastination. It is a bad habit to keep putting things off. So personal growth can happen quickly and in ways you may not initially understand. So if you keep putting things off, you're not going to understand when you have a shift, because it will stop your growth. So if you imagine you're going in this direction and then you shift, you can't continue the upward movement, is what they're showing me. And then the dual nature, I love this. When you look at it, it looks like an eye. With great power comes great responsibility. So you need to understand, as you become more powerful, you need to be careful with everything, with how you carry yourself throughout the day, with how you speak with clarity, speak with power. But no, so they're showing me not the gossip. So as we take on this greater power, they're showing me, they're putting a cloak around me and saying, as we take it on, we need to be much more careful with our words. And I think that holds for anybody or anything. We need to create sacred space. This is create an altar or visit a powerful place to connect with the divine. So I just put some crystals out the other night. I've actually put some crystals under my son's bed to help absorb some of the negative energy in his room. So I just brought that in today. Golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. So if something pops up in the next week, that's probably the door you need to go through, is what I'm being shown. Purification. It's time for cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. So not a bad time of year as we come inward to think about how we're going to cleanse. I think I touched on that a bit last week about even going through our closets, going through our closet, getting rid of clothes we're not wearing, donate them, donating what we can afford. There's a lot of people, this is a really hard time of year for them financially as well as for food. And as many of you know, in the United States, the government shut down, it's just reopening. But there's a lot of people that didn't get their food stamps this month, which is a tough month because it's, Thanksgiving at the end of this month, and then we're going into Christmas. So that's just reminding us about purifying ourselves and purifying everything, really. Composure, as I just said, it's about putting ourselves, like sitting up straight. I'm literally getting my spine straightened. Interesting, they put a cloak around me, so sort of like this, about being composed. He's got energy coming out of his hands. You can see that. Which also reminds me, they're reminding me that we forget that we have chakras in the palms of our hands. So these are oftentimes they're turned on without us knowing, because it's the power of touch. It's the power of, literally people often do this in religions. They put their hands together. You can often pull it apart and feel that energy. In the quantum, you can often feel, in the quantum field, you can feel the energy around you. It's all done through our hands, and we don't give enough credit. We talk about these chakras. We forget that we have, they call them minor chakras, but, bottoms of our feet, our hands, behind our knees or in our knees. They're there, and they're important centers. Surrender is showing that. See, there's this beautiful energy between our hands. We can ask for that beautiful, purest, whitest energy to come in and to purify us with the purification. I've been doing that again recently. And then inner child healing, we all have different parts of us that need to come back or have come back. We need to integrate to heal the inner child, and that can be many things. I was always thinking I needed to go and do childish things. For me, it was to have memories to forgive. There was a lot of forgiveness that I needed to bring in to free my heart. I have one more thing to do. I am not sure why I keep putting it off. I know exactly what I have to do. It was a bit like when I wanted to write a letter to my mother. It's at the same frequency, which is my ex-husband. And my mother told me when I eventually, I could not write the letter. I couldn't get the right words. I brought in her energy into me. I blended the energy and allowed her to write through me. If you ever do that, it is like amazing. You need to be in the right space. They don't stay. I will tell you that. I was worried that my mother, the physical person that was here, if she ever showed up, it would be hard for her to leave. I was like, I don't want to occupy my body. But it was an amazing experience. The person that I need to take the scar back off my heart is still alive, so I can't do that. And I don't know why. Every day I go, today's the day I'm going to do it, and it isn't the day. So my guides are telling me it's because it's not the right day. All right, so it's when I'm ready. Okay, it's not like just because you have to do it, you will do it. Okay, that's good. So I think that is the messages for the week. It's going to move very fast between now and the end of the year. I have been thinking about an offering to people for the end of the year, and what came to me yesterday was if you would like to know where your soul originated from, which, remember, we all have originated from other planets. If it's something that interests you, um, I'm going to offer that for $30. I will do, I usually use a pendulum, um, but I'll give you the information I get from which planet, or where did your soul originate, and any messages that come with that for $30. So you'll get a reading from that, whatever it is you're meant to know. And what else are they saying to me? And I am, sorry, they're talking to me. They're saying I can do that. So it's part of the Akashic Records, which that's the part that I feel comfortable that I can do. If anything else comes up that I pick up, then we can talk about it. Again, I know what they were reminding me. I thought, this was a thought I had, I still haven't put it out there, was that I can do a gift certificate. So if you want to gift that to somebody, and I know I wrote it down, I need your name, date of birth, place of birth, name at birth, and your current name. I think that's it. But I give you all that information. So I probably need to get onto that now I've put it out there. I had a thought, wrote it down, and then completely forgot it. As usual, you can find all information about me on my website, which is www.eastcoastdragonlady.com, or you can email me directly at eastcoastdragonlady@gmail.com. If you want to have a 45-minute free clarity call with me, we can talk about what the dragons feel you need. I am doing Dragon Empowerment Reiki, which is about an hour's session. Usually there's some reading in there because they're very quick and they usually give me a lot of information. So it's a reading and Dragon Empowerment Reiki. It's all on my website. I'm not feeling I need to make a special offer on that because I don't charge very much. But yeah, if you feel drawn to my energy or what I've been talking about, if you certainly have known any of this information, also if you're from Mars, if you know that you're from Mars, because I have not yet connected with the soul that originated from Mars. I'm told we're rare, which is always nice to know, right? So I hope you have a good week, and I'll be back next week. Have a good one.